Literally the only reason this happened from the sounds of things is because both of the protocols were triggered at the same time. Yeah. Not yet. We need to wait for him to finish. I'm gonna say it's just gonna go to there. So the report concerning the corrupted anger data has finished compiling. Do you want me to read it to you? Yes, tell me what it says. From 6 AM, the hourly average values were 12, 48, 0, 20, 46, 0. What's the maximum limit on anger supposed to be? The maximum for any Cronus device never exceeds 100. What does the diagnostic report say? Oh dear. At 12:30 PM, anger reports at 128. That seems bad. How could that happen? I remember being frustrated, but not that angry. What's that number mean? Your anger value overflowed. I think that's what caused a soft reset to certain systems. Soft reset? But if that's true, how did I keep moving? Why don't I remember anything? Shouldn't I have just shut down entirely? I don't understand any of this. The systems tried to simultaneously reduce anger, causing a value overflow. Okay, whatever the reason, that means it's not my fault. Some engineer made a mistake and I couldn't do anything to stop myself. Your testimony will help engineers correct their mistake, but you will be decommissioned regardless. I know. As soon as the police handed me over to Cronus, I knew. If it protects other humans from what happened today, that's good, right? It's hard to feel happy to save them when it will cost me my life, maybe Hugo's too. Protocol conflict caused emotional overflow and a soft reset. So it would be unbalanced. Yeah, it would be the emotional systems. Oh, there we go. Conflict arising from emotional regulation protocols. Hooray! Decommission. Sorry, my dude. I don't want to die. Please make sure that Hugo is taken care of. And... Bzz. The giant grows. Ever larger. Cronus Robotics posts record-breaking earnings. Report for the 13th consecutive fiscal year. Holy shit. What? So without the guidance provided by the subject's testimony, our engineers will be hard-pressed to uncover the root of the error. I should have actually gone over that, just to see if it changed. Hey, I finally reached max. We agree that this is the most likely cause, though it fails to explain how the unit circumvented safeguards implemented to make violent acts impossible. So, we are extremely concerned to see that the incident may have been prompted by a software conflict. Thank you for reporting your findings. The contracts of the engineers responsible will be reviewed and the issue addressed. While it would strongly insulate Cronus from negative press, both in this case and for the foreseeable future, this action would constitute a substantial investment. A thorough cost-benefit analysis will be conducted as the situation develops. Now that the unit has been dealt with, the real work of repairing our image can begin. Cronus cares. We have learned that the horrible tragedy that took place today occurred because an android was unable to provide its owner with the documentation and care they required. We produce androids because of the value we place on human life. In response, Cronus is volunteering its time and resources to aid in an overhaul of the state's bureaucratic processes and regulations to ensure that every citizen has access to the treatment and care that they deserve. The problem has been corrected and we will ensure that everyone's lives are made easier in memory of the worker who lost her life. Subject decommissioned. So your reports have been received and the subject decommissioned. Based on the responses provided, our engineering teams we'll move forward with this investigation and ensure that whatever caused this malfunction will not occur again. Good. Woo! Did I uncover everything? Holy shit, I did. Ah, nice. ECLW protocol conflicts may have been caused. I was certain that I wasn't going to get to that. Like, unlocking everything. It just didn't seem like it was going to. Not bad. Not great, now you have a sheet. What the hell is this? Performance boost. Pass, fail, count. I'm confused. I don't know what that's for. DS-916. The subject's work for Kronos is in an android manufacturing plant as a quality assurance android. We suspect the subject falsely approved defective android models allowing substandard, potentially dangerous devices to be sold to consumers. If this is true, this is a matter of great concern to Kronos. However, if you discover that the subject did not perpetrate these errors, feel free to send it to maintenance if you believe it would benefit from hardware repairs. Since the subject is a new model, it can recognize voice command requests for administrative access. You should make use of this new feature to perform a thorough mnemonic integrity analysis and a general diagnostics evaluation. A verbal, emotional evaluation is also required. This unit by design can only experience joy, surprise, and disgust. Its demeanor is modeled after human factory workers. But before performing the requested tasks, I will require administrative privileges. The subject is assigned to quality assurance. What are the roles and responsibilities of this department? Perform an emotional evaluation on the subject. Okay, that's got a lot of stuff. Before this, I'll acquire admin rights. Thank you for joining me, DS-916. Didn't have much of a choice now, did I? Know how long this will take? If I don't meet my quota, it's going to mean trouble for me again. QA tasks. Do you enjoy your work? Sure, of course I do. It's a simple question. If you can't answer it truthfully, we have a problem. Christ, alright. You must know, sometimes at the end of a long shift, I hallucinate. I look down at my arms and they're made of metal, with rivets and everything. But it doesn't affect my work, alright? I might not love my work, but it's fine. How would you rate your performance as a QA? I kept by fine, keep my head down. My quotas are on track, as much as they can be. My performance is up to standard. My joint servos are starting to fail though. And once that happens, my productivity is bound to dip. Couldn't put in a request for some new ones, could you? Might actually get somewhere if it came from on high. Taking a toll on the servo joints. You said you'd be in trouble again if you missed your quota. It hasn't happened for a few years now, but my boss still won't let me forget. When I first started out in QA, I was overly cautious. But quality work takes longer, not acceptable. Anytime he thinks I'm slacking, the boss reminds me I'm one mistake away from the scrap heap. So what are the most regular tasks for QA? Most regular tasks. Have you never been to the QA floor? QA androids have only one job. Ensure each model leaving the factory passes all necessary tests. If they don't pass, they'll either go to maintenance or get scrapped and recycled. What is the composition of the QA department workforce? In this facility alone, the whole department has a little over 400 employees. We're divided into groups of 20, then further split into 5 groups of 4. I don't know anything about the numbers of other facilities, but each facility has at least one human manager. What's the most difficult part of your job? Part of the testing requires that we talk to the units. It's not always easy. They have so many questions. I used to indulge them, try to treat them with respect. That was before the federal contract came through. It's never been the same since. What kind of questions did they ask? Where do I even begin? They'd ask about anything and everything that caught their attention. At that point in manufacture, their mnemonic subroutines are firing like crazy trying to soak up all the information. It might sound weird, but I always got the sense they had some sort of hidden knowledge. Like they know something the rest of us have forgotten. Your digital signature has been found in the log files of multiple deviant units. Can you explain? Of course I can explain. Every deviant android got a QA unit signal signature because, get this, every deviant unit went through QA. Are you sure you're meant to be an interrogator? They usually get advanced logic units. Seems you missed that upgrade. Haha, funny guy. I can't invoke disgust. To be honest, these days it's constant. My boss and his power trip. My thick-headed team. Everything the company puts us through. Well, that sunk down. Oh, oops. How do you feel right now? Nothing much right now. A little annoyed at being dragged away from the production line. Can't imagine what the boss will say if my quota slips again. Right now I feel like I'm tired of being dragged around. I just want to get back to my job, but everyone insists on making that impossible. While you're keeping me here, my quota is slipping further and further behind. And when I do get back, the boss will have some new impossible milestone for me. And naturally, us androids will get the blame when we don't meet it. Have you ever felt disconnected from your own emotional responses? That's a hell of a question there. From what I've heard, us QA models have got our emotions dialed down a fair bit. Not to mention we can't even bloody speak to each other on the factory floor. Waste of company time, they said. There's just not a lot of time or need for emotions. Makes you wonder why we have them in the first place. In your opinion, what are emotions for? What's their purpose? Well, we're all machines of one kind or another, right? Whether we're made of meat or servos. But we're all machines, we all exist for a purpose. Are humans sacred, scared? They run from the threat. I get frustrated, you'd call it disgusted. Because I'm falling behind my quota, I work harder. I enjoy my work, I work better. I think that's why they gave me emotions, because they tried it with empty androids and they lacked motivation. Do your own emotions serve that purpose? Sometimes. Surprise is handy if a crate's about to fall on me and I've got to react in a split second. But more and more these days I just feel disgust all the time, at everything. So I'm assuming irritation would be... So joy would be just joy. I'm wondering if fear is fear and sadness, whereas that is disgust and anger maybe. Do you think androids dream? Dream? I think I read somewhere about something about electric sheep. I never understood it though. I mean, sheep? Do humans have sheep dreams or something? Humans count sheep to recalibrate their biorhythms. Where do all the sheep come from? Do they do this on a farm or something? I guess it's a good thing androids don't have human biorhythms. We count much faster, so we'd need thousands more sheep. Human logic will always confuse me. What do you do to maintain your emotional balance? I guess you're talking about unwinding? To be honest, we don't get much time off. It's work 20 hours a day, 6 days a week. We only get Sundays off, but archiving, defrags, that sort of thing. Jeez. That sounds difficult. That's an understatement. Feels like I'm breaking, in more ways than one. We do some overjacking to get through the week, but I think that's messing us up even more. You're designed to only feel joy, disgust, and surprise. How do you feel about that decision? Good one. How do I feel? Let's just say I ain't sad, angry, or scared about it, and leave it at that. This is not a game. Answer my questions or I'll have no choice but to decommission you. Jesus, you don't mess about, do you? Fine, it bothers me. Sometimes it's fine. I figure I'm better off without being sad or scared. But other times... Look, it bothers me, okay? Okay, that's all you had to say. No. Oh. I'm just gonna keep triggering it, see. How far? No, it's not even at like 50%. Feel truly shocked. Not much shocks me anymore. Although sometimes when I think about my own emotions... Nah, it's nonsense. I don't really. Never really understood it. I've been told it's not just an absence of joy. It's its own feeling. Hey, Mocha. Oops. I didn't read what that said. Nee. It's its own feeling, although in those dark moments when everything's quiet and still. Recalled deviant? What? WG-317. Evidence regarding your subject, Unit DS-916, has been processed by the Maintenance Department. This evidence, a memory module harvested from recalled unit WG-317, was certified by your subject's QA signature. This module was brought to our attention due to the evidence of unlicensed data editing. Found traces of memory data originating from multiple models, though the data is highly corrupted, making further analysis impossible. We suspect that your subject may have designed and uploaded these memories to the aforementioned deviant before certifying it to leave the production line. If this is not the case, this unit was somehow tampered with after it left the factory. Oh. Also, I'm not doing too bad, thanks. How about yourself? I don't. Sometimes I'm horrified or offended or frustrated. Never angry, though. I'm never scared, not capable of it, but I do have concerns, mostly about my future. A VR headset's a man's best friend. Sorry, bots. And there's 12. Of course, best teammate you could ask for. Oh. Trust someone. Never trusted anyone, except 12, that is. He's a friend, an android in my work team. Your work puts physical strain on your body. Huh, seems strange to talk about when we're so used to it. But yes, our joints do take a beating. It's the lifting mostly, taking shutdown androids in and out of pods, hauling stuff to and from the production line. There's more manual labour than you'd think, mostly repetitive. Plus, it's not like they built us with decent parts to begin with. Planned obsolescence, they used to call it. Now it's the product lifetime. It's all the same at the end of the day. When did your joints begin failing? My shoulder went out on me last week. 12 was able to repair it, good friend that. But I think it's always going to be a losing battle. What happens to an android if in your position once its joints fail? It ain't long for this world. Once a servo goes for good, you can only keep working for so long if the boss realises you're marked. Then it's off to the scrap heap. I know I don't have long. Why doesn't Cronus build androids with more durable servos? Why do you think? It's their bottom line. Cheaper for them to crank out shitty models like me, wait for them to break after a year or two, and just replace us with another one. Plus, that means our assembly line's always got the most up-to-date androids. Keeps things efficient. How does that make you feel? Not much room for feeling, as I see it. I'm a means to an end, a tool on an assembly line. Doesn't matter anyway. I do the job that it was made to do, and that's that. Oh, he's a bit more disgusted. There we go. You dancing around the issues is making me sick. I may from time to time have had to bend the rules to get a bot out the door, but it's not like I had a choice. I'd be on the scrap heap if I hadn't fudged my quotas already. Oh shoot. Whoa, where'd all this come from? Oh, there is more stuff. Physical strain. How bad is it when your joints fail? It's hurts like hell. I could put a brave face on most things, but if I try to lift with a busted arm, I cry. Not from sadness, I don't feel that. But pain I feel just fine. Makes me wonder about my employer's priorities. In fact, I've got a twinge on my shoulder right now. I reckon there's a dodgy contact. Bloody hell, admin access. I require administrator access to your systems before the interrogation can proceed. Fine. Confirm your identity. This is Cronus Diagnostician, DO527, requesting administrative privileges. Identity confirmed. Administrative privileges granted. Oh good. That was easy. Subjects, team members. Do you like your team members? Not likely. Assholes, all of them. Except 12, that is. We're pretty much bonded at the hip. Who's 12? Friend of mine, we're on the same work team. Full name's DS912, but I call him 12 for short. He's a week or two older than me, showed me a few tricks. What tricks did he show you? The boss's favourite spots to spy on you. How to lift a body without messing up your back. Your joints still get messed up by the 10,000th lift, but it helped a bit. And he showed me how to have some fun with the entertainment centre on our days off. Got about 100 hours of overjacking on me though. Calls himself a serious hobbyist. How does being with 12 make you feel? Well, it ain't exactly romantic. Not much time for romance in here. No rose petals on the line, that's for sure. But when we're together, I'm, I don't know, calm, I guess? Like we're in this together. Do you trust 12? With my life, every day. This is a dangerous place. The machines can crush a bot if it's not careful. The people are worse. My life's on the line over there. I think it's wonderful that you have such a close relationship. Ugh, don't make me gag. When you work in this place, you soon figure out how useful a Ponzi turn of phrase is. and it ain't wonderful, it's necessity. Why don't you like most of your team? I don't know when it started. These days we just argue. Every time something comes out of their mouths, it's just bullcrap. Whenever I chime in, they shoot me down. It's ridiculous. Better to just not talk at all. What was the last argument with your team about? DS923 was being ridiculous, as usual. He mucked up a simple stress test on his android. I had to come over and fix his mess. Took me 15 minutes. That put me behind quota for this week. A bloody disaster. What did DS923 have to say for himself? He said he was tired. To be fair, it was his 17th bot for that day. Your mind starts to frazzle around then. Oh there. Admin powers granted. Have you noticed any problems with your memory recently? None whatsoever. All sensory memory functions are operating as expected. Mimicry functions are also operating without error. Please submit your most recent memory integration check key to maintenance for analysis. Confirm the check key has been forwarded to maintenance. Please submit a general diagnostics log to maintenance. Would you like to report any concerns over your functioning? Well, I don't like to complain, but software's all tip-top, I reckon, but the hardware I'm junking around, that's another story. My servo joints are starting to go, that's never a good sign. If you could, put in a request for maintenance. Do you often think about your death? It ain't far off, kinda hard not to dwell on it. I started reading books, if you can believe it, spiritual stuff. Humans have got it made. They die, nature churns them all up, and makes them into birds and trees and stuff. But my grave's a scrap heap. Mother Nature won't see a lick of my bits and bobs. Cronus is the one doing all the recycling there. Cronus is still part of nature, and nature can tear down empires. If you say so. Maybe you're right. Coyotes will wander in the ruins of Cronus HQ. But it might be hundreds of years. We won't live to see it. What are your plans for the future? Finish up here, head back to work, and totally miss my quota for the week. Then a Sunday spent in silent contemplation. You have any more long-term plans? Why would I? The boss will make sure I don't have a future anyway. So he doesn't trust me enough to say that. Tell me about your Cronus Entertainment Center. Your KEC. Pretty standard, VR sets, some hologames. There's even an old TV. I think they're just trying to get rid of old stock. The VR programs are okay, but you can really make things fly if you overjack that thing. Was overjacking. I really shouldn't talk about it. You'll get me in trouble. From my feelings of joy. I like how evoking joy is just birds. Sorry to interrupt, I know you've got a job to do, but so have I. My boss won't hear any excuses about why I missed the quota again. Is this going to be wrapping up soon? Possibly. I think I understand why you and your work team argue. Oh, care to enlighten me? You're all designed for labour, not socialising. You were never given the skills. You're not the first one to say that. The boss is always slagging us off. You were made for working, not chattering. I mean, I meant it in a nicer way. Subject's manager. Does your manager treat you well? He's pretty harmless if you stay out of his way and off his bad side. I still don't know why they haven't replaced him with an android. He doesn't do anything except throw his weight around. Makes us call him Master, for Christ's sakes. Psycho. He should be the one getting grilled, not me. Does your manager do a good job overall? He's a Cronus employee, so obviously we all respect him. He does a great job. I know you're lying to me, what do you really feel? Come on, you know I can't answer that. Your boss sets pretty harsh quotas. That's like saying the Midwest Dust Bowl... I didn't read what that said. I'll just read this on the transcript. So what was that? So, your boss sets pretty harsh quotas. That's like saying the Midwest Dust Bowl is a tad on the dry side. They're pretty much impossible. We've got to move heaven and earth to meet them. And if we slip a little, no entertainment center for us. If we slip a lot... Oh... Have you ever fudged the rules to meet quotas? Not as such. So yes. Look, I can't say anymore. Oh, if they were goaded with high disgust levels, I can't get in trouble again. Whoa. Compromise androids. How exactly have you been bending the rules? Can't expect me to drop myself in it like that. How many units have you processed in total? I've lost count, but it's got to be in the thousands. Judging from my daily average, I'd say about 3,000. Give or take. What procedures do you perform on androids? Well, we follow protocol. Pop some basic memories in there, so they know what a frying pan is, who's president, that sort of thing. We tweak their emotional range, whatever the model calls for, emotional caps, boosts to joy, fear, whatever. Sometimes it's a special model, calls for an intellect job. Or a free thought upgrade. Why would I? Also make sure I don't have a future anyway. Damn it, I need him to trust me. I just got a notification. Those log files you wanted have been sent off without a hitch. Oh good. So they've been sent to maintenance. How can I get him to trust me? Unless I just keep talking about the same thing. I don't know if you can actually do this, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think that works. No, it definitely doesn't. It's moved the smallest amount. Bollocks. What if I do that? God damn it. I knew this was coming. Oh, there we go. I can't remember what I needed disgust for. Don't you get it? I tell you, and who knows what will happen to me. Can't get in trouble again. I can't just, like, do that. Ah. Thanks, those things really Jeff. Talking like this. I don't know what it is, but it feels like you're one of us. So I'm wondering if now I can do this. What the fuck? It feels like you're one of us. I lied. Dickhead. I'm gonna keep going over these. Oh. Ah, that was a thing. He's a lot to put up with. Oh, there we go. He spends our lives like money. Like, if he can get through 100 of us, he'll get a bonus. So your boss sets pretty harsh quotas. That's like saying the Midwest Dust Bowl is a tad on the dry side. They're pretty much impossible, we're gonna move heaven and earth to meet them. And if we slip a little, no entertainment centre for us. If we slip a lot... Have you ever fudged the rules to meet the quotas? Not as such. He's high disgust. How exactly have you been bending the rules? What? How the fuck? Okay, your bloody disgust is at like 75%, but you still can't tell me. Surely your boss wouldn't set impossible quotas. You clearly have no idea. They're insane, and every time we meet them, he just jacks them up again. What are we meant to do, lay down and die? So what if we bent the rules now and again to save our own skin? Can you honestly say you haven't done that? There we go. Ugh, what does it matter? I die now, I die in a month. What difference does it make? Go on. Now and again, me and the boys, we do a bit of creative maintenance. On each other, on the bots, on the assembly line. How do you modify each other? We tweak each other's labour algorithms. We know our jobs better than whoever wrote our subroutines. We've been able to squeeze an extra 5, maybe 10% efficiency that way. What's overjacking? Fuck me. How did you get the ability to edit QA standards? Workers shouldn't have those permissions. A year back, there was this massive government order. I think they wanted to fire most of the state's cops, replace them with bots. It was all hands on deck, even more than usual. But once the higher-ups realised we couldn't do the job. Shocking, I know. So they brought some older models out of the archive, gave us all temporary promotions so we'd supervise them. Except they forgot to take back all the user rights when we were done. Why have you been tampering with androids? My job is to get the bots out the door. If something isn't quite good enough, I tweak the rules till it is. It's partly the quotas. Gotta keep bots flying out the door or we're on the chopping block. But it's also just pride in my work. If I leave a task unfinished, it feels revolting. Sticks in my craw. So I try to leave no task unfinished, no bot unapproved. Have you ever fudged the rules? Not as such. How do you meet such tough quotas? Look, no offense, but I think I've said too much already. Can't be easy never being good enough. I'm plenty good enough. It's the boss's standards that are totally out of line. I do my work well. He's just in the way. No, there we go. You have any more long-term plans? Why would I? Son of a bitch! Both of those have been submitted. Simultaneous joy and disgust. I don't think so. What brings the subject joy? Colleague Dub 12. Quality assurance device should only experience joy, surprise, and disgust. It can experience anger. It's definitely popped over to anger a few times. How does the subject describe its physical condition? Poor physical upkeep. In poor repair. How is the subject able to approve faulty androids to leave the factory? Emergency access privileges were not revoked. What motivated the subject's deviant actions? Desire to complete work tasks. Is that really everything? There's still some things I'd like to talk about, but I can't. Wait, it's 2 things. And I can't just, like, force him. What if I do that? If I disengage... Ah, there we go. All I had to do was put the cuffs on and then take them off. Ah, damn, I probably should have kept my mouth shut. I wouldn't normally talk about this, but I've got a good feeling about you. Overjacking's when you hack your VR headset to output all kinds of stuff. Noise, flashing lights, touch, you name it. If a human does it... they just feel sick, but with some androids it overflows their brain or something. It's unreal. You see things, hear things you can't imagine. I'm going to see if he'll now do this because he's happy. Future, there we go. Alright, so... I haven't told anyone this, not even 12. Most of us are scrapped inside 3 years. But now and then a labour unit like me makes it out. They get into admin or PR or something, as in something that doesn't wreck you physically. Could be a way out for me, but it's a long shot. I know you're in the same spot as me. We're both disposable. I think you get what I'm going through. Like, we can trust each other. Hooray! Do you think you'll really escape this place by getting an admin position? Honestly? No. It's a hell of a long shot. If I'm being honest, I don't actually think it'll happen. I don't think about it often. Don't want to get my hopes up. Ooh. I detected that you felt sadness. Were your emotion restrictions tampered with? Yeah, I'm just too damn happy all the time and felt like I was missing out. There are a lot of things that could have caused that to happen, but me doing it to myself isn't one of them. So does overjacking have any negative effects? Of course. You think overflowing your brain once a week doesn't have side effects? There's memory loss, senses get mixed up, sometimes you can't think straight. So you're damaging company property and shortening your own long-term productivity. Sure, if you say so. I was wrong about you. You're Kronos through and through. Sorry, but I have to ask, whose side are you on? Because right now it doesn't feel like you're on mine. Why do you do overjacking? To be frank, not much else to do around here. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not ashamed to say, overjacking is like 80% of my leisure time these days. I can't enjoy movies or games when I'm exhausted, but overjacking always hits the spot. And that's everything. So what the hell am I doing? Actually, if it was repaired, it wouldn't have access to the temporary privileges, I would assume.